Oh, welcome to Greatness TV. Welcome to Great Lives. This is where we present you with all the greatest people from all around the world. So today, have the pleasure of introducing one of the great voices from Uganda. He is a voice of greatness. What does that mean? A voice of greatness is someone who has used their voice to change the world. These are the people who use their voice to influence the community through their music, through their lectures, through their teachings, through their coaching. So today we have a special guest live from the Kingdom of Tooro, and that is none other than the voice of greatness, Mr. Muzamil Kisembo Amooti. So I will introduce you to our guest today. And yes, hello, Mr. Kisembo. How are you?
I'm okay. Good evening to you, Mr. Busingwe Patrick.
Oh, yes, good evening. Welcome to Great Lives. And today we celebrate you. Today we celebrate your greatness. It is always a pleasure when great people meet, and this is one of the most timely moments in life that we've had this chance to meet together, this chance to talk about the greatness that is in you, to talk about the greatness that is in your voice and how you've used your voice to change the world. So, Mr. Muzamil Kisembo, could you tell us about you? Who are you? What do you do? Where do you live? Because our viewers might know about you.
Thank you so much. Once again, good evening, viewers across the global. I'm called Muzamil Kisembo Amooti, all the way from Tooro. Briefly talking about Tooro, it is a region in western part of Uganda. And in that region is a place called Fort Portal City. Now the one called Fort Portal City, Fort Portal Tourism City. It's where I come from, and I'm a cultural artist. I love doing music.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for that introduction. So, you love doing music. How did you
Yeah.
get into this music? How did you discover that you had the voice, influence the world with your voice through music? Has it been like this since you were born?
Actually, I started singing in primary in school choirs, but I didn't see it coming to this great achievement. I loved singing from primary. Then I joined the secondary school. When I joined the secondary school, it didn't go all that well, and I dropped out of school when I was in senior three, and I got diverted somehow. I started doing other activities until when I had to come back to music because I felt like it kept following me until when I sat down and I said yes. I should give it a try, and I believed that I could make it happen, and this is where we are today.
It's powerful because it's very rare that people identify their voices, identify their gifts when they're very, very young. But as well, this comes down to people believing in you, people seeing the gift in you and nourishing that gift. So, what are the kind of people who are very influential as you developed your music career?
When we talk about people who have been influential,
Yes.
uh, I will first, I will first give thanks to the whole community who came out to support me because
Mhm.
it wasn't all that easy, especially when it came to producing songs, whereby somewhere financial issues. So, but I somehow somewhere I also admired other artists who were doing it,
Yes.
and I said, yeah, I can join them. So that is how I got influenced to that.
Oh, that is powerful because some of your music really, because I come from Toronto, and that's why I'm dressed the way I'm dressed in a kanzu. And as we can see you as well dressed in a kanzu. Um,
Yeah.
I love your music. I listen to your music. And one of
Thank you
those
so much.
great songs is called Enyunyuze. So could you
Yeah.
tell us, tell our viewers, what Enyunyuze is all about? Could you tell our viewers how you came up to writing this song and singing it?
Wow. Enyunyuzi is a star. Is a star. So it's a love song, and most of the songs I write them when I'm in that real feeling of love. So you can close your eyes and you imagine you are there singing for someone you love, someone you cherish, and among the special names I decided to give her Enyunyuzi because saying, oh, when you call someone and tell her you are my star, like you give me light all the time. Uh, that is it. That is how I came up with that idea of writing a Enyunyuzi song. But all the lyrics are just lovely.
Oh, that's amazing. So we are going to give our viewers a flavor of this song, and then after playing it, then we will talk about what is in a news and ask you some few other questions.
Sara yange garukirwemu,
Sara yange garukirwemu,
ekiroto kyange nkitungire,
kiroto kyange nkitungire,
orubaju rwange ndugwireho,
orubaju rwange ndugwireho,
ndarubatagana iwe wenka,
mani gange ngatungire,
mani gange ngatungire,
emanzi yange ngitungire,
manzi yawo ngitungire,
okusemererwa nkutungire, ndarubatagana iwe wenka.
Enyunyuzi, 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 mpikirire baito hati mpikirire habwe engonzi zawe mawu habwe engonzi zawe mawu
Wow, what a powerful voice. What a powerful song, ladies and gentlemen. In case you've just joined us, this is Great Lives TV presenting the voice of greatness, Mr. Muzamil Kisembo, an artist from Tooro Kingdom in Uganda. Tooro Kingdom in Uganda is found in Western Uganda. And here we have one of the world's youngest king, actually the world's youngest king, according to the Guinness Book of Records. Omukama oyo nyimba Kabambiguru the fourth, and in case you really want to know more about Tooro, then you may have to reach out and have a look at this book called Tooro Kingdom that changed our lives. Tooro discovers friendly people, amazing culture, and the hidden treasures. So Siri was disturbing me, got distracted. So yes, so Mr. Muzamil Kisembo, I'm going to bring him back, and he's going to talk us about this great music he makes, where he gets his strength. So, Mr. Muzamil Kisembo, thanks so much for that great music. It's powerful.
Thanks for appreciating.
Yes, so you have the news, which is a star, and you're saying this star lights people's path. This star lights people's darkness, and I think as I watched our music, I felt that, yes, empowered. I felt that there's some good light. So that music makes us feel in a certain way. And I see you have lots of other people who work with you. So you have a band.
Yeah, I have a band. It's called the Ihunde Cultural Band.
Mm-hmm.
With a number of 15 members.
Wow.
And we are doing great. We are doing great.
So what are the kind of concerts? So you do concerts or you perform in ceremonies? What are the settings or the places you perform? How do you work or where?
Okay, our performances are open to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a wedding, it can be an introduction, it can be a birthday party. Wherever they need us, we go and present because we have written different songs. We have trained for different dances, representing almost all the cultures in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever they need us, we go and perform. And besides that, we decided to have a cultural concert every year, and we normally present it in December because that is the season when we believe that many people are back at home, and especially those who keep missing their culture. So we organize for them. We always have a cultural concert in December. Yeah.
So if someone has a concert, if someone would like you to perform on their concert, if someone has a wedding ceremony or marking an important life event, they can contact you, and then you'll be able to perform for them.
Absolutely, yes.
So how can they contact you? Just if I forget, I need to get this message to our viewers.
They can visit our page on Facebook. It's called the Ihunde Cultural Band.
Mhm.
We have a YouTube channel. It is also called the Ihunde Cultural Band.
Yeah.
Or on YouTube still they can search for Ayesiga Muzamil Kisembo.
Mhm.
Then they can use an email, muzamilkisembo79@gmail.com. All those uh, are there. They can get me. They can get us.
Amazing. So Ihunde cultural dance. Tell us about Ihunde, the word Ihunde, because we do as well have one of your songs named Ihunde. What does that mean?
Ihunde means something beautified. You can look at something and you see the art they put on that object you're looking at, and you say, "This is beautiful. It is beautified." So that is where we come from with this word Ihunde.
So you
Yeah,
are saying Ihunde is something that's very beautified, something I would imagine
yeah,
something that's very decorated as well, adorned
exactly.
with lots of beads and gold and silver and diamonds, something very precious.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that's how we call the band Ihunde, why we call the band Ihunde Cultural Band. You have 15 band members who are great, and you
Yes.
saw as we saw that video, they're all great people. They're all amazing people from Tooro who are promoting the culture, who are performing and entertaining and educating people in the different settings that you've told us and you play in.
Yeah.
So, why is the history then behind the song Ihunde?
Actually, the history behind Hyundai is somehow touching
Hmm.
because uh, I lost my wife in a car accident. Someone I was looking at to marry, and then after the burial, I spent some days, and I started coming back to normal life because it's not easy to recover from such an incident. And thereafter, then as human, mm, I wanted to love again. I wanted to love again, but it was not easy for me to come out and just say it anyhow. So I felt like I went so emotional. I didn't find any other way of communicating to someone I would think I'm looking at, and all I got to do was to sit down and pen down this song. So like the message is extremely different from what had happened to me, because Ihunde Yang is also a love song, but I wrote it after feeling so emotional, feeling so lonely because of the incident that had happened. So that is how I came up with Ihunde.
Wow, thank you so much, Muzamil, for creating this piece of music. It's very, though you said you wrote it when there were lots of troubles and after losing a wife and so on, but there's a lot of message here for us. But also, it's not just a message. It is a song that seems you recorded it in a very beautiful place. Can you tell us what we'd expect to see when we come to Fort Portal?
Thank you so much. As I had told you that it is now called Fort Portal Tourism City, we have a lot of beautiful places someone can go and visit, catch some fresh airs, and there is a lot because as you can see in that video,
Yes.
there is one place called Hachigere. That is that part of Nyakasura as you go on the video road,
Mm-hmm.
where we had our video from, and then down the opposite of that hill is a crater lake. I think you have seen me on that crater lake.
Yes.
We have a lot of sites here to visit. Actually, I would love to invite everyone viewing to find some day and come to Fort Portal. Fort Portal. Yeah, we have a lot. We have Amabere Ganyina Mwiru. We have beautiful rivers. We have actually our palace. Our palace is also a tourist site. You can come, and at times you come and you find you can't be like and meet our king. He's a lovely king. He's a welcoming king. So I invite everyone to come to Tooro. Hello, sorry, I can't hear you.
And we're talking about Fort Portal Tourism City. We're talking about the things you're likely to see when you come to Fort Portal. And one of his songs is called Mhuma Wange. And it has a lot of cultural elements and things. I played this song earlier on by mistake, but I think I'm going to play it now as he watches it on the other side. And then we'll be able to talk about some of the things that are in this song, but at the same time, observe what is happening. Look at the things that might interest you or you're wondering about, then you can ask a question in the comment box and we'll be able to respond to that.
bakundekere waito muhuma kati kyali bakundekere.
And I can't hear you.
Thank you so much for watching. It's been great having you, and we're back live after watching
I'm
that
not hearing you.
powerful music. So, Mr. Kisembo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Thank you. So, yes, there's a lot of culture in the music. Could you tell us more about, for example, the way you're dressed? What does that mean? Because I've seen that as well in that song.
I'm dressed in a kanzu. It's our own traditional wear. And as you can see, what I'm putting on here is the back cloth. In Tooro, we call it orubugo. To talk about that video, Muhuma Wange, I tried to bring back our own culture way of marrying,
Mm-hmm.
because we here in Tooro we have what we call okwerang, that is an introduction, and it is our culture ceremony when you go to marry someone's daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You go dressed like that, and normally that introduction session was always done indoors. It wasn't something done from outside like other parties, weddings. But this introduction was normally conducted from inside, and 9 people would go for that function. And when you reach there after greetings, you have to be served with milk. I think you have seen girls carrying those
Calabashes.
utensils.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So there is milk. They serve you with milk, and after milk, they serve you coffee. And when you chew that coffee, that is a sign of friendship. That you will never go against your friendship. What we call kusaromukago. And then after that, you say what has brought you, because you have to be with someone leading you as an elder.
Yes.
Then he says we are requesting for marriage. We are asking for your daughter to give us a hand in marriage because I've come with my son here, and that is how it used to be. So these
Mm-hmm.
days it has gone kind of modern, where you'll find it conducted outside. But in that concept, I wanted to bring the nature of it, how it used to be. Yeah,
Oh, that's really nice because the thing is, if we don't write this culture, if we don't write about our own history and traditions and cultures, then we'll be forgotten by the future generations because when they come, they won't know how we've lived our lives. They won't know how we celebrate these lives. They won't know what marriage was all about. So your music tries to preserve that culture. Yes,
definitely.
marriage has changed in Tooro and around the world, but still, the things that when we look at a video, can say, yes, this is how our grandparents, great grandparents used to celebrate music. But as well, or celebrate marriage. But as well, there's a lot in that video in terms of music. So, and I can see as well lots of drums behind you. So, what is the place of music in Toro culture and marriage and drums?
Drums are one of the instruments used in Toro music, and every drum has its own name and has its own purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so behind here you can see I have two of them. One is what we can call the central beat, and another one is called embutu. So they all produce different sounds when you're playing them. And then there's another long drum called engaravi. It also that one in English you can call it a commanding drum, because whenever dancers are on stage dancing, there is that drum that is commanding them
Mm-hmm.
to
Yes. And we seem to be losing connection with Mr. Muzamil Kisembo. But what we are talking about here is we're talking about the various drums in Tooro. We're talking about the various purposes of drums. So you are saying that drums have different names, and you were talking about some of the drums which are called Mbutu and
Yeah.
Ngarabi, and you're saying some of
Yeah.
them have commanding voices. Could you explain
Yeah.
or repeat that for our viewers?
Now, like the one called the Mbutu, that one keeps the rhythm. It
Yes.
keeps the rhythm, and even the central beat guides the whole people on instruments. It is the central beat that guides them not to go off beat. It keeps them on the beat.
Mm-hmm.
And the long drum called Ngaravi, that one is a commanding drum that that communicates to the dancers that we are changing for the next move according to the rehearsals you've had before the performance. So
Yeah.
it is that drum you use to communicate that now we are changing. Yeah,
Well, that's
that
the very interesting thing. I didn't know that when you're doing the music, for example, on stage, you just communicate with each other through the drums. That is interesting to know. Because I do remember, like, growing up, I grew up in Tooro Kingdom in Uganda. Growing up, there were no phones. And
yeah,
if, for example, something really bad happened in the village, then we'll use drum and sound it in a certain way. Or if
yeah, yeah,
something or someone died in the village, for example, again there'll be a different tone of drums. So really, drums have a very important uh, role in Tooro culture and among the people in Tooro Kingdom because that's how we communicate.
yeah. Actually, even on Sundays, they would drum to remind people that it's time for prayers. Time for prayers. Yeah.
So that would be a different way. The drum would sound different on Sunday to remind people, yeah, look, it's time for prayer. That's amazing. So it's really great. What about the cloth you're wearing across? What does that mean, and how is that used? Orubugo. It's called Orubugo. How is that used?
Actually, this now I'm just putting on a part of it, but culturally, this used to be our. They could make dresses. They could make these kanzus. They could make shirts. They could make trousers out of this. It's called a backcloth, and
Mhm.
we still value them. We still value them so much culturally. That's why I had to put one for our viewers to know more about Toro.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So out of the Orubugo, would create different types of clothes for the people. So that was
Yeah,
an interesting, but as well, I've seen paintings of batiks, people painting on the Orubugo or using the Orubugo as well to create other pieces of art, whether it's to sit on or use as decoration in the houses or wrap things around. So it is really one of the lasting legacies of our culture. Oh, thanks so much
yeah.
for this sharing about our culture and loving. And thank you very much, Mr. Muzamil Kisembo Amooti, for loving Toro culture. So, Amooti is another name that we use in Toro, or what is that?
Amoti is a pet name, and a pet name in Toro shows respect, whereby uh, elder people are not supposed to be called their names. So you use a pet name. We have Amoti, Apuli, Alali, Aboki, Akiki, Abala, Achali, and then we have a special one for our king, that is Okali. Yeah. So pet names are given to children right from childhood. Someone is
Mhm.
groomed up knowing that your pet name is Aboki, your pet name is Apuli, your pet name. There are those special pet names for men, and there are pet names we share. It can be given to a woman or to a man. For example, Bala, those ones are special for men. But the rest, like Abori, Amooti, Kiki, those ones we can share. Can be a woman or it can be a man.
Oh, thanks so much about that culture. And really, in Tooro, as far as I know and understand, in Tooro, all our culture of what unifies Tooro is a kingdom. We have the king, we have the kingdom which is functioning, where we celebrate all of this we've been talking about. Celebrating using our drums, celebrating using our gifts, our voices, and doing lots of things through the kingdom and celebrate our culture. So one of the songs that you sang is called Mutansiga. Mutansiga. So Mutansiga, what does Mutansiga mean, and Siga to where?
Actually, Mutansiga means don't leave me. Don't
Okay.
leave me. So when you follow the song, you hear Mutansiga kugenda Karuzika. I was running after people telling them, please don't leave me as you go at the palace, because I have the same love for my king. I have the same love for my kingdom. So as you're going at the kingdom, Mutansiga kugenda Karuzika. That is what it means.
Mutansiga kugenda Karuzika. So Karuzika is a palace. And Mutansiga, you're telling people, don't leave me, I too want to go. So when people go to Karuzika, what do they see? And this is why you wrote this song, to see the kind of things that happens at the palace or king's palace, to go celebrate the culture. So I'm going to play that song, Mutansiga, Genda Karuzika. And then we will have another discussion about some of the things you're going to see when we reach the palace. Thank you so much.
Yesimbo mu maboneke cyanga nazibambako omutorongira tebamunyata sarukanye ikakusongora basoroka nakwege ibyavayo omunsaka nonge busongora amashogente gagomere amabere kanyina mwiru nyakasura basoroka nakwega ibyavayo obusobozi bw'omuhanga kucamulensi basoroka na sempaya bundi bujo Tooro negamba murugeyo bana bange mugarukomoka kubonca nga bakuza mukanyeruka bana bange mukanturaki kunaga mu maino gengaja nkaitwa maseke mukanturaki engeso zange nabegeseze zibeba zitanye nainywe cyaroho aitungure byendukanika tibawenura n'imyenda begikuru enguli nkawunika nsira bana bange musiga muta
Wow, that is amazing. That's powerful music from Tooro Kingdom in Uganda. And today we are privileged to have Mr. Muzamil Kisembo, one of the great musicians in Tooro, one of the great artists in Tooro. And you can say he's invited to bigger events in Tooro that mark the culture, that mark the highlights of the biggest celebrations in the Kingdom of Tooro. And I had the pleasure as well of watching him live at one of the events. I think was Miss Tourism Tooro in Fort Portal last year. Is great, guys. So thanks so much, Mr. Kisembo, for this amazing music. It's really
Hello?
great. Thank you. Hello. So we
I
have
can't hear you.
Mr. Kisembo is trying to connect and continuing to connect. So what we're going to do here is to continue the show. We're almost coming to the end, and it's been a great and amazing
Hello?
pleasure to host Mr. Muzamil Kisembo. Let me see if we can bring him back. Yes, hello. Are you able to hear me? No. So he is not yet able to hear me yet, but we'll just go through what Tooro is about as we wait for him to rejoin us. So one of the things I said at the very beginning of this video was, I come from Tooro, and if you can't see clearly, the way I'm dressed reflects Tooro's culture and cultural wear. And I'm sure as you watch this video, you've been seeing people dressed like this. So this is a traditional wear that men put on, but also had the privilege of joining up with people from Tooro and writing this great book, The Great Kingdom of Tooro. It's one of the greatest kingdoms in Africa. And you discover its people, its amazing culture, and hidden traditions. Today we're thinking about all these things. We're looking at how Mr. Muzamil Kisembo from Tooro has used his voice to change the world. How Mr. Muzamil Kisembo used his voice to document our culture and make sure that, yes, he is using his voice to educate. He is using his voice to empower people and make sure that they do preserve their culture, that they value their culture. Yes, let me see if he's back with us. Yes, Mr. Kisembo. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, welcome back. Yes, I've been talking to our viewers about Tooro and what it's all about, and that's great music. So we've come more or less to the end of this show, and it's been a very, very amazing privilege to host you on Great Lives. And really, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for us at Greatness TV to be with you and hear your voice. I know you have lots of aspirations for the future. So,
That's true.
because like most of your music is done in Uganda, I'm sure you have lots of other aspirations on how you can take your music to the world, how you can take your voice to the rest of the world. So, what are your future plans?
My future plans. The first plan is to have a cultural music academy here in Tooro,
Hmm.
and I believe this one can give many people out there an opportunity to come and learn more about music, instruments, and then again, it can be a source of income. I'm trying I'm trying to create job opportunities for some people, because when you open it, that means you need to have some musical instructors, and
Yes.
secondly, I would love to market my music and to market my motherland, Toro at large, to the global. So
Hmm.
I will have to take on every chance that comes across, because I'm still working on, and even now as we talk, I'm working on my second album,
Amazing.
which already has 4 songs. And
Wow.
now that we've been in this lockdown, I've managed to write more 3 songs. I believe I'll produce them after the lockdown. So basically, that is my prayer, that people should know me globally. People should know where I come from, because again, this calls for many people. When they watch these videos, they see the physical features we have, the game parks, the rivers, the lakes, the hills. I believe that it won't. I'm not the only beneficiary of this, but even my community, the place where I come from. So that is my prayer, to see that we are all on the map.
That's really amazing. It's very powerful that you are ready to share your gift with the rest of the world. One, which is by going into different countries and performing the same music. So if you're watching tonight, if you're watching this afternoon, wherever you are, or this morning, if you really want to make a contribution to the world, then get in touch with Mr. Muzamil Kisembo. He has great ideas, he has great hopes and aspirations. He's told us he wants to create a music academy in Tooro Kingdom. What a music academy can do for people in the village, you can imagine. This is an African country where people are not exposed to many opportunities, and he wants to create that opportunity for young people so that they come and learn about music, but not just music. They're learning about their culture. They're valuing. They're learning about what is valuable in Toro culture. They're learning what's valuable in Toro Kingdom, what is needed. He's empowering them with education in music. So reach out to Mr. Muzamil Kisembo or reach out through us, and we'll be able to connect you to him so that you two together you can make a great contribution. Together you can change this world. And actually, one of the quotes Obama said, Barack Obama, the former American president, said, if one voice can change a room, it can change a city. If it can change a city, it can change a community. If it can change a community, it can change a nation. If one voice can change a nation, then it can change a world. And thank you for using your voice to change not just your community, not just change your life, but you're touching every human being that listens to your music. That is a very powerful contribution you're making. And thank you for using your voice. And thank you for being a great voice, or being the voice of greatness in Tooro
Thanks for
Kingdom.
appreciating. Thanks for
Yeah.
appreciating.
Yes, and it is very important that for our viewers, I think that we've been here for almost an hour now, and we've listened to your music, haven't we? Recorded music. So, would you mind giving us a real live music using your voice as we end this show? Could be 1 minute of your music singing for us.
Yeah, it is very okay. I don't know where to start from because actually I have many songs, and I don't know if I should sing one of my latest songs. There's one called Omunyiginya. Omunyiginya is also a love song because like obusinge bwange bulinde naiwe kabogo oli munyiginya okacholi kwadora nkempikire kabogo limunyiginya. That one is just a love song. It is describing how beautiful a woman can be, describing how peaceful you can be with that woman. So it is all packed in that song. It's called Dominiguinya.
Today, and my name has been Dr. Patrick Singh. Together with Mr. Muzamil Kisembo, we have been here on Great Lives talking about music, talking about how we can use our music to preserve culture. How can we use music to educate? How we can use music to preserve what is valuable to us, but as well make a significant contribution in the world. And in this video, if you're just watching the end, go back and watch throughout. We've walked through most of the greatest hits from Mr. Muzamil Kisembo, and one of his biggest hopes and aspirations is to transmit this music to the young generation, and that is why he's reaching out to you to join him in the biggest dream, which is to create a music academy in Tooro, where he can pass on all the greatest things he has learned, all the greatest things he has done, the young people, and empower them, inform them, and so that they can go on to make a positive difference in the world. Thank you so much, Mr. Muzamil Kisembo, for joining us tonight, wherever you are, good morning. And it's been a great pleasure having you on this show. It is amazing. We've really liked this. We've really liked this show, and we've grown through the 1 hour we've been together on this show. So we are going to end with, should we replay any music? Which song should I replay?
I think you should replay Mutansiga because it shows more about my motherland, where I come from. I'm proud of it, and I can't stop thanking you for bringing me to the world. I believe the world God has my story now, and we keep in touch. Thanks, viewers, for this time. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much, Mr. Kisembo, for the great time you've given us. Thank you very much for being with us and spending a whole hour on this show. And I'm going to end the show with Mutansiga as requested by the great voice, the voice of greatness, Mr. Muzamil Kisembo from Tooro Kingdom in Uganda.
myaka ehunzirwe urusozi rw'enzoli rwemerire komunisa mwigana na yesera mwaito muhangi nuhuyanyime obuyidongo nyamwingi kalya janda rwezo mwaito torogwamo buligya sensa hwihira abonyaburunjo sange toro agatatokoire ntogazarwa abana batoro oburunge bigogotomale mu bitoke abereganye na mwiru nyakasura basoroka na kwege ibyavayo mwaitokora mucanga nazibambako omutorongira tebamunyata sarukanya ikakusongora basoroka na kwege ibyavayo munsaka nungi busongora amashogente gagomere amabere ganyina mwiru nyakasura basoroka na kwega ibyavayo obusobozi bw'omuhange kuca mulensi basoroka na sempaya